listen, we here with the Kurzgesagt in a nutshell, because Kurzgesagt means in a nut. Y'all ain't know I knew that, did y'all? We about to learn about loneliness, okay? Because I'm forever. Let's get it.
So when the metal hit his mug, he just sunk in place. 100K Holla, chillin' Bahamas. Come home to your crib and throw in your mama.
What is good, HollaSquad? We are forever lonely, all right? So we're going to learn about our loneliness to see exactly how much damage it is doing to us. But we're also, the latest squad on the YouTube platform. This is today. We're back with another reaction, and we got in a nutshell, because that's the meaning plus the word. Y'all ain't know I knew that. But listen, before we hop into this, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Join the HollaSquad so we can all, you know what I'm saying, watch videos together. And none of us could be lonely because it hurts at night to have nobody to talk to. Unless y'all join the Discord link down below, you know what I'm saying? W plug. Let's get into this in a nutshell. Let's get it.
Everybody feels lonely from time to time.
Big facts.
When we
all
have
the
no
time,
one to sit
sometimes.
next to at lunch, when we move to a new city, or when nobody has time for us at the weekend. But over the last few decades, this occasional feeling has become chronic for millions. In the UK,
Especially
60%
during COVID.
of 18 to 34-year-olds say they often feel lonely. In the US, 46% of the entire population feel lonely regularly. We are living in the most connected time in human history.
Facts.
And yet, an unprecedented number of us feel isolated.
Put your phone down. Talk to your friends, okay? Talk to, like, the people in your phone, they real people too. Never get that misconstrued. But also, enjoy the people that's around you.
Being lonely and being alone are not the same thing.
Facts.
You can be filled with bliss by yourself and hate every second surrounded by friends. Loneliness is a purely subjective, individual experience. If you feel lonely, you are lonely.
That's
A
crazy.
common stereotype is that loneliness
I got the
only happens to
HollaSquad,
people
so
who
you know
don't
what
know
I'm
how to
saying?
talk to people
Bring it
or
in,
how
bring
to
it
behave
in.
around others. But population-based studies have shown that social skills make practically no difference for adults when it comes to social connections.
Oh, wow.
Loneliness can affect everybody. Money, fame, power, beauty, social skills, a great personality. Nothing can protect you against loneliness because it's part of your biology.
What is loneliness?
Loneliness is a bodily function, like hunger.
Okay.
Hunger makes you pay attention to your physical needs. Loneliness makes you pay attention to your social needs. Your
That's
body
crazy.
cares about your social needs because millions of years ago it was a great indicator of how likely you were to survive. Natural selection rewarded our ancestors for collaboration and for forming connections with each other. Our brains grew and became more and more fine-tuned to recognize what others thought and felt and to form and sustain social bonds.
Okay.
Being social became part of our biology. You were born into groups of 50 to 150 people, which you usually stayed with for the rest of your life.
Facts.
Getting enough calories, staying safe and warm, or caring for
Everybody
offspring
had to work
was
together.
practically impossible alone. Being together meant survival. Being alone meant death. So it was crucial that you got along with others. For your ancestors, the most dangerous threat to survival was not being
caught
eaten
by
by a lion,
yourself.
but not getting the social vibe of your group and being excluded.
That's why exiling back in the day was such like a crazy thing. Because like if you got exiled from a community, nobody would talk to you. You know what I'm saying? And you were left to fend for yourself back in the day where you had to be part of the community to get part of the crops. There was no grocery store down there. Hey, speaking facts, bruh. Speaking facts.
To avoid that, your body came up with social pain. Pain of this kind is an evolutionary adaptation to rejection. A sort of early warning system to make sure you stop behavior that would isolate you. Your ancestors who experienced rejection as more painful were more likely to change their behavior when they got rejected and thus stayed in the tribe, while those who did not got kicked out and most likely died.
Wow.
That's why rejections hurt, and even more so, why loneliness is so painful. These mechanisms for keeping us connected worked great for most of our history until humans began building a new world for themselves. The loneliness epidemic we see today really only started in the late Renaissance. Western culture began to focus on the individual. Intellectuals moved away from the collectivism of the Middle Ages, while the young Protestant theology stressed individual responsibility. This trend accelerated during the Industrial Revolution. People left their villages and fields to enter factories. Communities that had existed for hundreds of years began to dissolve, while cities grew.
That's crazy.
As our world rapidly became modern, this trend sped up more and more. Today, we move...
Maybe that's why some countries, they hold on to that idea of not letting people be individualistic, and they want you to love what they want you to love, so they build the community that way. Then you have, like, what they say, the Western world, you know. This is very interesting. You know what I'm saying? Very interesting.
Vast distances for new jobs, love, and education, and leave our social net behind.
Yep.
We meet fewer people in person, and we meet them less often than in the past. In the US, the mean number of close friends dropped from 3 in 1985 to 2 in 2011.
That's crazy.
Most people...
And they said close friends. I feel like I got at least like 6 close friends. I may not see them all the time, but I'm friends with a lot of people. I'm friends with all of y'all. You know what I'm saying? We like 25K strong now. I'm friends with a decent number of people like that I do YouTube with. And I still got other friends outside. So I think like my close friend group, like I went for my birthday to Las Vegas and like 20 people flew out to Las Vegas. Listen. If that's not social proof, I don't know what is.
Stumble into chronic loneliness by accident. You reach adulthood and become busy with work, university, romance, kids, and Netflix. There's just not enough time. The most convenient and easy thing to sacrifice is time with friends.
Thanks.
Until you wake up one day and realize that you feel isolated. That you yearn for close relationships. But it's hard to find close connections as adults, and so loneliness can become chronic. While humans feel pretty great about things like iPhones and spaceships, our bodies and minds are fundamentally the same they were 50,000 years ago. We are still biologically fine-tuned to being with each other.
How loneliness kills.
Large-scale studies have shown that the stress that comes from chronic loneliness is among the most unhealthy things we can experience as humans.
Bro, that joint have you in the bed, sleep all day, eating Rocky Road ice cream, tank top on, ice cream dripping down your chin onto your bare chestises. I mean, if you got tank top on, it's not your bare chestises, but you know the bare area right here. You know, you don't want to get up, you don't want to do no work, and it's very hard. Like, I know I got like a lot of young crowd. I'm gonna tell y'all, please make sure, one, you enjoy being by yourself. Learn yourself enough to be to enjoy being by yourself, but also be a good person, because you'll realize that although some people will take advantage of your kindness, people will gravitate towards you, right? So it'll be a lot harder for you to fall into these feelings, right? So, you know.
Makes you age quicker. It makes cancer
Preacher
deadlier,
holler in a
Alzheimer's
building, you know
advance
what I'm saying?
faster, your immune system's weaker.
Yup.
Loneliness is twice as deadly as obesity and as deadly as smoking a pack of cigarettes a day.
That's crazy. More deadly than obesity and just as deadly as smoking 2 packs of cigs a day. Look, I'm telling you, if you can't feel that's probably why, you know, your boy is out here thriving, because I could be by myself all day. I'm gonna be chilling. I'm gonna watch some documentaries. I'm gonna, you know, chatting with y'all in Discord is kind of cheating. But I'm gonna be chilling.
The most dangerous thing about it is that once it becomes chronic, it can become self-sustaining. Physical and social pain use common mechanisms in your brain. Both feel like a threat, and so social pain leads to immediate and defensive behavior when it's inflicted on you. When loneliness becomes chronic, your brain goes into self-preservation mode. It starts to see danger and hostility everywhere.
Yup, I know people just like that, bro.
Some studies found that when you're lonely, your brain is much more receptive and alert to social signals, while at the same time, it gets worse at interpreting them correctly. You pay more attention to others, but you understand them less. The part of your brain that recognizes faces gets out of tune and becomes more likely to categorize neutral faces as hostile, which makes it distrustful of others. Loneliness makes you assume the worst about others' intentions towards you. Because of this perceived hostile world, you can become more self-centered to protect yourself, which can make you appear more cold, unfriendly, and socially awkward than you really are.
That's so crazy because it's like I know I have friends who I feel like go through this, right? They start to see the bad in everybody, and sometimes everybody does it. It's inevitable for you to feel that way some days. But like optimism in life, knowing that you can get through stuff, will make you believe that even your loneliness you can get through. If you can have that mindset, you will go through times of loneliness that there's never going to go away. But to get out of it, if you have that mindset that like I'm going to get past this, I feel like that can help, you know?
If loneliness has become a strong presence in your life, the first thing you can do is to try to recognize the vicious cycle you may be trapped in. It usually goes something like this. An initial feeling of isolation leads to feelings of tension and sadness, which makes you focus your attention selectively on negative interactions with others. This makes your thoughts about yourself and others more negative, which then changes your behavior. You begin to avoid social interaction, which leads to more feelings of isolation. This cycle becomes more severe and harder to escape each time. Loneliness makes you sit far away from others in class, not answer the phone when friends call, decline invitations until the invitations stop. Each and every one of us has a story about ourselves, and if your story becomes that people exclude you, others pick up on that. And
this is so, bruh, I know so many people who go through this, and it's unfortunate. Like, and I would say one thing you can do to let you know that people around you aren't looking at you like they're trying to exclude you is when you go places, common courtesy, right? They say common courtesy, say hello when you talk to people. If you can master that, when you go to McDonald's and you walk to the register, don't just take your order, right? Say, how's it going? And most times that person will reciprocate, yeah, I'm doing good. And that will make you feel a little bit more like this is a stranger. They ask me how I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that is like the beginning step you can take to start to lift yourself back up, right? At least it works for me. If I'm feeling lonely, I just say hello to everybody. Oh, what's it? How you doing? You know what I'm saying? How you doing today? That's all you got to ask. And most people don't answer, oh, I'm doing good. How about yourself? Especially if you're going into like a retail environment, they're going to answer. And that'll make you feel a little bit more included in like the social environment that you're in.
so the outside world can become the way you feel about it. This is often a slow creeping process that takes years and can end in depression and a mental state that prevents connections even if you yearn for them. The first thing you can do to escape it is to accept that loneliness is a totally normal feeling and nothing to be ashamed of. Literally everybody feels lonely at some point in their life. It's a universal human experience. You can't eliminate or ignore a feeling until it goes away magically, but you can accept that you feel it and get rid of its cause. You can self-examine what you focus your attention on and check if you are selectively concentrating on negative things. Was this interaction with a colleague really negative?
This is one of the best videos I ever
Or was
watched.
it really neutral or even positive? What was the actual content of an interaction? What did the other person say? And did they say something bad, or did you add extra meaning to their words? Maybe another person was not really reacting negatively, but just short on time. Then there are your thoughts.
You always want to give people the benefit of the doubt, because if you always go to the negative, if you treat everything like it's the most negative, you're going to develop emotions that you didn't even need. Now, you're going to come across people who actually, you know, are being negative, right? It's going to happen, right? But there's way more neutral people, and there's actually some people that you may perceive it as a bad interaction, but it may be good. But you don't want to just divert straight to negative, because you're going to start putting up boundaries that don't even need to exist. You're going to stress yourself being angry at things you don't even need to be angry at.
It's about the
So unless you know it's deliberately negative, then I wouldn't jump to that. Now, I will be honest, when you do that, there's going to be times that you try to be neutral, and then you not noticing that it was a negative interaction may come back to bite you. But you'll live a much more happier life going through it that way than to look at everything negative and fall into like the loneliness trap it is. I can say that personal experience, you know what I'm saying? This is why y'all come to the channel. I like to, y'all let me, we having a conversation. Let me know y'all's experience with loneliness down below.
world. Are you assuming the worst about others' intentions? Do you enter a social situation and have already decided how it will go? Do you assume others don't want you around?
Hey, look, my parents, this is one of the biggest things I think my parents told me being young is, if you're here, you might as well make the best of it. We used to go places I didn't want to be. And like they said, you're here, you might as well make the best of it. That little thing, if I'm here, let me just see where I can have fun at instead of pouting about being there. If you can do that when you go places, you'll be a lot more happy about what goes on. Find something that makes you happy.
Being hurt
Something
and
gotta
not
be
risking
there.
opening up? And if so, can you try to give others the benefit of the doubt?
Yeah.
Can you just assume that they're not against you? Can you risk being open and vulnerable again? And lastly, your behavior. Are you avoiding opportunities to be around others? Are you looking for excuses to decline invitations? Or are you pushing others away preemptively to protect yourself? Are you acting as if you're getting attacked? Are you really looking for new connections, or have you become complacent with your situation?
Facts.
Of course, every person and situation is unique and different, and just introspection alone might not be enough. If you feel unable to solve your situation by yourself, please try to reach out and get professional help.
Facts.
It's not a sign of weakness, but of courage. However we look at loneliness as a purely individual problem that needs solving to create more
It's a
personal
community
happiness,
thing for sure.
or as a public health crisis, it is something that deserves more attention. Humans have built a world that's nothing short of amazing, and yet none of the shiny things we've made is able to satisfy or substitute our fundamental biological need for connection.
Yo.
Most animals get what they need from their physical surroundings. We get what we need from each other. And we need to build our artificial
This is
human
the
world
most
based on that.
fact-based video I've ever seen, bruh. Like, and to the way they can.
Let's try something together.
All right, hold on,
Let's
let's-
reach out to someone today. Regardless if you feel a little bit lonely or if you want to make someone else's day better. Maybe write a friend you haven't spoken to in a while. Call a family member who's become estranged. Invite a work buddy for a coffee. Or just go to something you're usually too afraid to go to or too lazy to go to, like a D&D event or a sports club. Everybody's different, so you know what's a good fit for you. Maybe nothing will come of it, and that's okay. Don't do this with any expectations. The goal is just to open up a bit, to exercise your connection muscles so they can grow stronger over time, or to help others exercise them.
Yo.
We want to recommend two of the books we read while researching this video. Emotional First Aid by Guy Winch, a book that addresses, among other topics, how to deal with loneliness in a way that we found helpful and actionable. And Loneliness, Human Nature and the Need for Social Connection by John Cacioppo and William Patrick.
Fire.
It's an entertaining and scientific exploration as to why we experience loneliness on a biological level, how it's spread in society, and what science has to say about how to escape it.
That's what a lot of people say. Like, we have the most people at our fingertips than ever before in human history, but people are feeling the most lonely. And a lot of times it's because they see the highlights of everybody inside their phone, so they become obsessed with the highlights. When you put your phone down and you look around to the people around you, or even like people who have long form content like YouTubers, Twitch streamers, Instagram livers. I don't know if that's a thing. You know what I'm saying? TikTok streamers. When you see that stuff, you're able to see more of a complete version of the person. Now, some people have personas and all of that stuff, but you get to see the negative parts too. Like, if y'all ever watch my videos, I say, you know what I'm saying, all the time, right? And people talk about that, right? Oh, you say, you know what I'm saying? Why you keep saying that? But there are some people who have like things people who say right? Like and people who say like. There's people who have these things, and you can look to somebody and see like, dang, this person does a lot of the same things that I do, and you will not be as obsessed with the perfect version of people in a Twitter post or an Instagram post. I think that but at the end of the day, I feel like we need to have more real interactions with people other than just looking at people's highlights on our phone, because that's what everybody has been consumed with. Then they become further into depression and loneliness, comparing their complete life to a 1-second photo of somebody else.
Links for both books in the video description.
Definitely got to cop these books though, for sure. Hey, look, in a nutshell with a banger. This is one of the most impactful videos I have ever seen. Like, because I know a lot of people who go through stuff like this, and I never know how to contextualize it to them, because a lot of people, they look at me and they're like, yo, Holla, you're happy all the time. It's because, like, your brain is a very predictable thing. But when you can figure out why it does what it does, then you can start to work on things that can actively combat you falling into the pitfalls that your brain will fall into given certain circumstances. So I think this was a really good video. You know, there's actually one of the, I'm going to send this to a lot of people because I know they're going through it. And if you have a friend that you feel like could benefit from sending it, hey, make sure y'all head over to the original link is down below in the description. Y'all take that, send that to y'all friends. And I feel like it could do a lot of people a lot of justice. And I think we're getting to a point once COVID is like all the way gone, which could be years, could be months, who knows, right? When it's gone and people are back outside, I've seen people are a lot more talkative now because we've been stuck away, stowed away in our houses. And now when people go out, there are some people who, like, they forgot how to use their social skills. I'm not going to lie. But, like, I can't wait to see what the world will be with everybody have sat in the house. You know what I'm saying? Some people, they were able to build genuine connections sitting in the house. Other people, once we go back outside, they're going to build more connections than they ever probably would have, because it also gave us as humans a chance to slow down and put things in perspective. So, you know, y'all let me know how y'all feel about this down below. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, all that great, you know what I'm saying, HollaSquad stuff. And I'm going to see y'all in the next one.